Welcome back to another episode of Let's Finally Grow. I'm your host, Ariana, and today we're going to get comfortable. We're going to get a little comfy cozy in the studio, in the podcast studio, in the studio that's right across from my bed in my bedroom. Comfort, 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 comfort. So, I want to talk about something today that often feels triggering, but leaves you feeling comfortable. How does that work? How do you feel triggered and then feel comfortable? I don't know how it fucking works. I'm just here expressing the feelings deep inside of me that come to mind. Let's get into boundaries. Oh, that word itself sounds so fucking scary, but it is the thing that allows you to sit back, relax, and be comfortable. Let's start off with boundaries versus control, because I feel like that is the biggest clusterfuck of it all. So, for anyone who doesn't know, a boundary is something that protects you from getting into a certain situation maybe you were unhappy with again, from feeling, I really like, from feeling a way you felt before that you don't want to feel again. Control is trying to control an outcome. Like a boundary's intention is genuinely to protect yourself. Control is trying to control how someone else feels, how someone else views a situation. None of it protects you. And maybe you think you're going to feel good from it, but you usually leave it feeling shittier and you look shitty. Everyone involved feels shitty. But when it comes to a boundary, it is literally the scariest word to hear. You just feel uncomfortable hearing it. It sounds like almost like you're getting like a detention in school. Like, we got to set a boundary. Like, you got a boundary set against you. Like, it is motherfucking terrifying. And when I set a boundary, I feel so scared. I feel so scared that it's going to push someone away. But time after time, I've recognized it actually has people respect me more, and it keeps people around longer, and then they leave. No. But that honestly, that's not all the time. Like, that's the goal. That's the fucking goal, is that you set the boundary, someone understands it, and the relationships bloom and they're beautiful from that boundary. And then you get to sit back, relax. This person knows me, knows my boundaries, knows what line not to cross. But that's not always how it goes. For me, at least, it really depends on the person that you're setting a boundary against and that person's capacity to receive your boundary. And now this perspective is like saying that you're actually doing the right thing and setting the boundary to protect yourself. Like, you're doing it right. You're like, hey, I've been down this road before. I need to set a boundary with this person. My intuition's going off. There's a little siren starting to like, familiar road we have been down before. Let's set a boundary. And this boundary could be literally, no, I can't go out tonight. That, like, the boundaries usually are pretty simple. Like, no, I don't really feel comfortable sharing that piece of information with you. Or a boundary in dating maybe could be, especially in the beginning stages of dating, it could be, hey, that doesn't feel good to me. And it really depends on the person's capacity receiving these boundaries to be able to say, okay, I got you. thank you for letting me know. Or, they could get offended. That could be offensive to them. That could trigger them in a whole different way. So you're triggered even having to set it because you're remembering a feeling of something you felt before and you don't want to feel that way again, but you want to keep this person in your life, but you want to protect yourself. And now the person is triggered because boundaries scare them. They internalize it. They feel like they did something wrong. Like I understand now as I'm really diving into it, why the word boundary is so scary. How the fuck do we call it something else? Protecting ourselves. Because that's really what it is. It's you allowing yourself to feel comfortable if someone understands you. And if someone doesn't understand you, I think you just have to get comfortable with the fact that that person was going to run across every fucking boundary you had and leave you in those situations where you were unhappy before. If someone understands your boundary and understands you, whatever that person did to trigger you can kind of just be like tossed away somewhere. Like you don't forget it, but you should be grateful that they're hearing your boundaries and respecting you. And yeah, there's totally people that may not like something that you did and they'll say, quote unquote, they're setting a boundary. But really what they're trying to do is control a situation, make you feel bad about yourself, all the fucking things that you just don't want that are triggering again. Fake fucking boundary. Fake. It's called a bullshit boundary. Bullshit boundary. And these boundaries, they're everywhere. They are relevant in every area of our lives. When it comes to families, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to dating. So, when it comes to dating, I have not always been the kind of girl who sets boundaries in the beginning. If I like someone, I am going to express how I feel even more heavily in the beginning because I want to sit back, relax, be chill. Like not the chill girl act. I actually want to I want to be I was going to say I'll never be chill, but I am in a sense. Like I want to sit back, know that this person knows me, knows that this person's not going to cross a boundary and I don't have to fucking worry. I don't have to worry about anything. There's always going to be something to worry about, but at least in this dynamic, in this example, in this situation, in this scenario, at the rodeo, there's no rodeo, but we're going with it. We're just going with it. Maybe we're going to the rodeo. Back on track, Ariana. So I'm going to set the boundaries in the beginning. I fear and feel that gets misinterpreted as I am a control freak. Like, this girl is already telling me what to do, trying to tell me how to live, telling me what to do with my life, telling me what I'm doing wrong. And that's just not the case. What's actually happening is that I have a past life. I have a history of things I've gone through in my life, like we all do. And I have things that make me feel safe. I have things that trigger me. And when it comes to dating, I want to be so clear on the things that make me feel safe. And the way someone responds to it is going to tell me if they respect me, if they want me to feel safe, if they have the capacity to understand where I'm coming from. And I don't have to ignore all of the quote unquote red flags or things that triggered me and then later on bring them up and now they're a problem. And it's also very common in dating that guys will sit there and say, and it's honestly, it goes both ways, guys and girls, both, any person, where a person will sit there and say, I was dating someone and they were so cool. They were so chill in the beginning. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they had feelings. They had fucking feelings. And it was a surprise to me. And I didn't like it anymore. But now I have feelings. I'm in this relationship and I don't know how to get out of it. So I like to remove that factor because I have done that. I have sat there and, anything to please the guy in the beginning, anything to just keep the relationship rolling and get to know each other. But if we're not getting to know each other's, triggers and things that make each other feel comfortable, what are we actually getting to know? And put my feelings aside. And then all of a sudden later, crazy scariana comes out, feels like all of her boundaries are being crossed, but her boundaries were never even expressed. And it's a fucking massacre. It's not pretty. It's not fun. And it's not something I want to get into ever again. So I have learned now to be more vocal in the beginning. And it's not easy. It's actually pretty frightening because if I want someone in my life, I want them to feel comfortable being around me. I want that completely. But what I need to remind myself is that I need to put my own comfort first. So I need to put the comfort of me being comfortable before them being comfortable. And then everyone's fucking happy and it's rainbows and butterflies if they can see my boundary as a boundary and not as control and understand that it's nothing personal against them. It's personal with me. And it just doesn't always work that way. Honestly, as I'm talking about this, I'm being triggered in so many different directions. I'm like, oh, like, what the fuck? I'm like, that still needs to be processed. That needs to be worked on. That has not been figured out or handled. Like, that motherfucker. And it's not just in dating, it's also in past friendships. So, everywhere. Work dynamics. Oh my God. Yes, all of it. And there are people out there who do want to cross your boundaries. Like, they don't give a flying fuck. They want to see what they can get away with. And you want to be their worst nightmare. You don't want to hand them on the platter, everything that they want as something that they see a crack in, a rabbit hole to go down and think about how they can cross every single boundary with you. You want to be their worst nightmare that they don't even want to entertain. You don't want to give them a crack at all. And when I say crack, I'm not talking about crack on the streets, okay? Let me explain further. I am talking about if you make yourself uncomfortable for someone one time and you put their comfort before yours, someone who wants to, cross a few boundaries, step over you, see what they can get away with, will think and remember consciously, subconsciously, how they can move with you. They'll see a whole fucking window opening. They'll know that they can get away with that. I have learned to and enjoy now shutting that shit down, which also is uncomfortable to do. I have to then see it for what it is, trust my gut, trust my intuition, and make sure that there is no window cracked open where people think they can get away with anything with me. And then I can care about other people's comfort and make sure that they feel comfortable. And I can make them feel more comfortable the more comfortable I fucking feel. So what is like the common theme in all of this when it comes to the perspective of the healthy boundary setting, the healthy scenarios. It's pouring into your cup first and then being able to pour into someone else's, making sure you're comfortable before you can make sure someone else is comfortable. Because if you're not going to make sure that you're comfortable before making sure someone else is comfortable, you're going to build resentment. You're going to have all these built up fucking things inside and be dissatisfied and have a new scenario that causes triggers in the fucking future. And it like alters your capacity. And I don't know about you, but my capacity, I want my I I want my capacity to be fucking able and moving, and I want to be capable of doing all the things I want and not worrying about people trying to take advantage of me. Or yeah, I don't want anyone in my life that I think is trying to take advantage of me. And if there is someone that I think is, they're just not going to be in my life. They're going to be at such a distance because that energy leaks into you and it just fucking sucks. And there are going to be people who are going to look at your boundaries as you trying to control them. Like, that's going to happen. And that is not your issue, your problem to deal with. I'd rather someone feel that way so I can just wipe them off my plate, put it at a distance, than have them in my life and have to have the burden of the discomfort and have them interfering with my capacity and have me worrying about what they're trying to get away with, if their intentions are pure or whatever. I think it's also really important for us to understand that we don't have to take someone's boundaries and feel personally attacked or feel less than. Like, it's important for us to have the capacity to also to be able to understand and respect someone's boundary, because that's how you build beautiful, meaningful relationships. Like, if I set a boundary in a relationship and someone respects it, I'm just going to respect that person that much more. Like, that person's going to be met exactly like where they met me. Like, and I think that's a very important thing too, is meeting people where they're at. Now, if someone doesn't respect it, I'm not going to have respect for that person. And it's info, it's knowledge, it's good for me. But in a sense, I'm always going to find the fucking good. Honestly, there's so many different rabbit holes to go down, and I feel like I'm moving through them pretty fast. It's just wild. It's a wild concept. It's a wild behavior. And I don't think we understand it enough. Like, I've had too many scenarios where I set a boundary and it gets looked at like I'm being controlling, especially in dating. And it's like, oh no, baby, if you just held on and you let these boundaries be set, you would get the best version of Ariana that's just comfortable and wild and is literally the best. But you're not going to get that if you're not going to respect a boundary. You're going to get literally Fort Knox. And boundaries are teaching people how to treat you. It's like you're showing someone like, that makes me uncomfortable. This makes me feel comfortable. But you also have to like do it for the right reasons. Like, if you're doing it for the reason to genuinely protect yourself, great outcome. If you're doing it to control someone else, poor choice, poor decision. Everyone's going to wind up needing some therapy afterwards. And if you're doing it to try to make someone feel less than, you're going to feel less than. you're not going to feel good from it. Boundaries will help you in a way that control never could. Boundaries are a form of protection before shit hits the fan. And trust me, shit will hit the fan. And in case you didn't know, me, myself, Ariana, the host of this podcast, I'm human. I'm a person. So obviously I've crossed boundaries before. I've disrespected people. I have overstepped boundaries. I have saw what I could get away with before. And in those scenarios, if I take accountability, issues should be and can be resolved. So it's not like I'm a perfect person. I've definitely overstepped boundaries. And then it's like sometimes it's most of the time I feel like it's unintentional. Like most of the time it's harmless. I've never sat there and thought, I'm going to overstep this person's boundary. Maybe sometimes ignorance is bliss. Like, I just wanted to do something. Like you never know. But then you do know once the boundary set, then you do know based off of someone's reaction. And it's what you do with it. It's how you handle it. It's how you can take accountability in a situation, admit you are wrong. Ooh, maybe it feels a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm human. I'm going to give myself grace and let's move the fuck forward. I know to never do that again. And from that perspective, that gives me hope. If I can do it, we all can do it. And it does make me respect. And I think even more so than that, it helps me understand someone more. Like if I cross a line and it makes someone really, really, really uncomfortable, I'm understanding that person more. It gives me more intel. It sheds light on the situation. I know where to tread. I know where to tread lightly. Like I just know how to move. And I like that. I like that a lot. Like I like understanding people. I like growing relationships. I like respect. Like why the fuck don't we all want that? World peace. It's hard to have boundaries. It's hard to put yourself first, but it's necessary. If you're not making those hard choices in the moment, they're always going to come to bite your ass in the long run. And you're going to get stuck in patterns and all that repetitive shit that we talk about constantly that applies to every area of our life. So do it. Feel that uncomfortable thing in the moment. Set the boundary. Be terrified for the response after the boundary was set. 50-50 chance. Someone may respond and understand where you're coming from, and someone may not. They may try to throw it back on you. And then you'll be happy that you set that boundary and that now you never have to again because that person would have crossed it over time. Like it will tell no matter what the boundary set and you're golden, you are protected. You got to sit back and relax and you can be comfortable. We've got to make light of these shitty situations so that we can just fucking tackle them, deal with them, talk about them, and set a boundary, not control, not be controlled. Shimmy, shimmy. I think this is the point where we lost me in the episode. I'm going to say, if I'm doing a shimmy, shimmy, I think I've said all I've come here to say, and we can end it and we can move on and we can set some boundaries if we have to. Now, like, I don't want you going out left and right being like, you get a boundary, because not everyone fucking needs them. Don't harm something that doesn't need to be harmed, Don't set a boundary for the fun of it because they're not fun to set. So, but if there is a moment where you feel it's necessary and it's needed, just know you're not alone. Set that shit. Do it. Do the scary thing. And tell me how it goes. Tell me. I want to hear. I honestly set one yesterday and I was so scared. And it was about like a situation that was weighing on me in my life. It was pretty huge, and I just didn't want to give info out on it. And I had a few people ask about it, and I'm just like, you know what? Don't take this personally, but I don't want to talk about it. Every single person respected it. So I got lucky there. Now I feel better about it. I know that, like, now if someone else asked about it, I'm like, boom. Hey, and if you don't respect it, guess what these people did? And it felt good. So I know what feels good and what doesn't. I wish I could give you more insight on it, but if I'm not talking about it to the people that are closest to me, I'm definitely not going to talk about it on online. Even though I did, but I just removed the context. So I gave you more than I even needed to do, but I did it. Okay, we got to go. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Set the boundary and protect yourself and feel comfortable.